It all started years ago. There was an old-timer from the Southwest who told me about an ancient site he had once visited in a vast, rugged canyon. He didn't say exactly where, but the way he described this place was extraordinary, almost bordering on the mythical. Was it real or exaggerated? Fast forward to a few months ago. I got a tip from a channel viewer about an archaeological site in this same canyon, connected to an astonishing geologic feature. In of itself, that would be worth investigating, but it dawned on me. What if this was the same location the old-timer had told me about? What if that site, imprinted in my imagination, was real? Well, of course, you know what follows next. As the 1-year anniversary of the Desert Drifter channel drew near, I prepared my gear and ventured into this special canyon. Little did I know what I would uncover. I'd wanted to make it all the way to the trailhead tonight, but got a lot later start from home than I wanted to. Gotta get my bed set up in here and then try to get a little sleep. I've got a lot of miles to cover today. Normally, this is an objective I'd turn into a backpacking trip because of the distance. But local regulations here forbid backpacking, so I've got to do it as a major day trip. The off-trail portion is hard to predict, but I was expecting to cover about 15 miles round trip today. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna encounter today, so I'm gonna throw the helmet in just in case. About to hit the trail. First light on the ridgeline. Traveling these deserts alone, I've encountered my fair share of sketchy characters. Unfortunately today, these dangerous characters find us everywhere, particularly while we're browsing the internet. Thanks to today's sponsor, Surfshark, I don't have to worry about my internet safety any longer. Surfshark includes a VPN, which hides your device from others online. This is especially useful when I'm traveling and on public Wi-Fi. I always worry who might be trying to tap into my personal info while sharing the same internet connection. But it does a lot more than that. This is a time of year many of us are shopping or booking flights online. Until I started using Surfshark, I had no idea that the prices I saw for products and flights was often adjusted to the location and device I was searching from. Meaning, you could be paying more simply because you live where you live. This is known as online price discrimination, and Surfshark ensures you get the lowest price available because it hides you from these pesky trackers on the web. I decided it was time to take control of my online life and use Surfshark. If you're interested in doing the same, you can try it yourself with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to surfshark.com/desert for 4 extra months at an unbeatable price. All right, let's get going. Thanks for tuning in to this 1-year Desert Drifter channel anniversary. Did I imagine we would be in this place a year ago? Definitely not. Man, it's tough. It's such a beautiful morning. I'd love to get the drone out, get some drone shots, but I gotta stay focused. Okay, I lied. I couldn't resist putting the drone up briefly. The lighting was just too good. I hope it's gonna be worth it. Don't entirely know what's there, if anything's there. Is it gonna be worth such a big day? But it is a beautiful fall day, so you always gotta keep that in mind. Huh. Why is there a wooden beam up there? Wonder if that used to be something. I mean, you just don't normally get wooden beams coming out of a rock unless maybe at one point in time there was a structure up there. I don't know. I don't really have time to investigate. This canyon was heavily used by the Fremont culture. They probably arrived around 400 AD and lived here up until around 1200 AD. It's very possible that this was something left behind by them. I just went jumping over this little snake. He's so cold, he's just pretty much frozen in time. He's obviously a very young baby snake. But yeah, I went I went vaulting over him, and I looked down between my legs and saw him. Well, my friends, there it is. The light is pretty harsh on it. But that is the goal today. Probably about 1,000 feet off the canyon bottom. I had no doubt that the arch existed. It's what's nearby that is in question. Where is it? Look at that. I noticed you got some wood up there. And again, wood doesn't just grow out of a rock face, but what the heck? I might put the drone up to see. Trying to assess what my best route option up is, and it is pretty hard to tell. What I might do is try to hike around the other side and see if there's an easier way up. The topo map looks like potentially going up that nose would work. I just spotted some rock art up here. So I figure this is where I'll attempt to get across this creek and start. Oh wow, there's a lot of fish in there. I feel like it's gonna get kind of serious after this. So this old timer, he had seen a lot in the Southwest, and he was telling me about a site somewhere in this vicinity. Is it the one right up here or not? I don't know. But he was describing the site to me, and the way he made it sound, it was like he had never seen anything quite like it. And then, like I said, a channel viewer reached out to me a couple months ago, and she was talking about this particular geologic feature up here. So my mind sort of connected the two, and I thought, is that what this original old timer was telling me about? We're gonna try to find out here. Although I've explained in previous videos, lately I've seen a lot of comments asking why I don't give locations of where I'm at. So if you're wondering, generally the places I visit are fragile historical and archaeological sites, often with sensitive ecosystems as well. Because these places are always at risk of vandalism and destruction, I believe posting specific locations on the internet is harmful and often leads to rapid destruction of an area. You might ask, if I believe that, why do I post videos at all? Isn't that hypocritical? Well, because I believe you can't value something you don't know exists, and you can't protect something you don't value. My hope is that a collective understanding of how special the American Southwest is will lead us to find better solutions for protecting it for the future. Okay, I think I've come to a pretty good place to start to climb up. Just a slab move or two. We've got a few features to work with. Look at that thing. That looks like an accident waiting to happen. Okay, up the first obstacle. I'm sure there will be more. Pretty sure I need to move left around this big cliff face, but now that I'm up here, I'm wondering, are there any little overhangs or things? I might do a quick check. Tight fit, huh? Wow. Look at that. I had come to a point of sorts where I could look down at the canyon I had started from. For the amount of effort expended, it was a rather small amount of progress. I realized I was moving slow, partly because the terrain was challenging, partly because I was looking closely for the people of the past. There were nooks, crannies, hidden corners seemingly everywhere. This landscape seemed to be designed specifically for hiding secrets. Man, I was just saying how hard it is to see this stuff. I was just out on that point, came up here, and right up there in the shade, there's a pictograph. I was studying that as I was getting the mic on and stuff. I think these might be carved steps there. Let's go take a look. Yep, 100%. There's one. There's a second one. I don't see a third, but you've got quite a few natural features in order to get up there. So why put it there when, say, you could put it right there? That's one of the big questions always. I've got no idea. There's lots of mysteries like that out here. If I had one guess, I would say maybe it has something to do with how the sun angle's hitting it at a particular time of year or something. So I started looking up there thinking, well, what else have I missed? Sure enough, there's something up on that ledge. You can see the wood. Not gonna lie, this place, it's just sketchy. I mean, just everything is loose. I already fell once back down there. And thankfully it wasn't bad. I slightly tweaked my knee, but I'm basically just wandering with the general direction of going up. And I saw, where was I? I saw some interesting stuff back along here. It's just you see something and then, you can't immediately get to that. Do I trust this slope? I don't know.
This is what happened last time. I was just walking, one of these slopes just completely gave out on me. And so, you know, thankfully I could stop before I went over the edge. Okay, that's actually not too bad down there. But you just have to move with so much care and thought out here. That big slab. If any of those came down, landed on me and pinned me, that would be bad news bears. The Desert Drifter channel might only have lasted for 1 year if that happened. This would be the 1 year anniversary video and grand finale. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Man, this stuff is so subtle. Take a look. This is probably an old granary that's just pretty dilapidated. You can tell, I mean, you can still see some of the original mortar back there. Excuse the ridiculous contraption on my head. Corn's not the only thing they'd store in those things, but man, just imagining they were hauling corn from down at the bottom, which is, I mean, it's totally possible.
As is often the case, contemplating existence here centuries ago was humbling. I continued pushing generally upward.
This goes back and forth between fun and brutal. I came back from a very sketchy drop off and seeing a different angle, I'm like, gosh, maybe I'll be able to get up this. It's just like, it's not necessarily that hard. Do not trust that stuff very much down there. I want to minimize whatever weight I put on it. Somewhere up there.
Maybe I chose a bad route. Maybe I underestimated the terrain in this canyon. Maybe I was just in my head today. Whatever it was, this place was making me feel pretty small and insignificant.
Well, it got me up. Looks like one layer. There's still... Well, there you go. Kind of how it feels like the day's going. I get up one puzzle and then there's just another one right there. I'd say that's what makes this unique.
It seemed like I had one more major cliff band to ascend. I started wandering along one side, and for the first time in the day, things started clicking.
Holy cow. Look at that. Looks like there's something back here. Like scratches back here. An old, kind of looks like a storage cyst that you might see. People have definitely been here. I mean, you can see there's some blackening on the roof. Oh wow, I noticed. Okay, so there were those scratches. Let's see, there's more etchings over here. This roof is, you know, pretty crumbly, so I think whatever used to be here is just probably crumbled away with time. Maybe something there too. I'm gonna keep working along this cliff band here. This is kind of crazy. I've thought maybe 4 times by now that this cliff edge would basically dead end and, you know, there'd be nothing but open air before me, but it just keeps going on and on. And I left my bag behind because I didn't think this was gonna go. But it's got me wondering, is this gonna eventually lead me up where I wanna go? It's almost like a secret entry to it all. I'll be darned. This is where it ends. You fall from over here, that's for sure death. But this looks pretty doable. It gets you up, and I almost want to say the arch is right there. It looks like it's all there. I mean, it's definitely exposed, but it doesn't look too challenging. I should probably scout it first, just with my body, no pack. Let me give this thing a go. Holy cow. So I'm hiking back to my bag. I can already tell that's... Oh darn, it's broken. Gosh, that would have been something else. They drop it traveling along this route. Man, if only the tip had been on that. Beautiful piece. It just, like I said, I looked down and just like, bam, there it was sticking out.
Finding that artifact made me very confident I was on the trail of the Fremont. This must have been the way they accessed the arch. Now, with my bag, I hurried back to the final section.
How many trees am I gonna have to climb through today? There is my route. I'll be honest, that was, and I'm glad for it, that was quite anticlimactic. Oh, wow, look at that, there it is. Wow. Pretty phenomenal. I mean, it really is a stunning area. I don't know how well the camera's capturing it. First piece of pottery I've seen all day. I mean, look at this cliff here. Look at that. Wow. I mean, just to put the setting in perspective, the two pieces of pottery are right there. Look at that cliff. Now I'm seeing, yeah, pottery everywhere. There's corrugated. Just a few feet away from the pottery, you've got, looks like a bunch of old timbers. Why here?
This drone footage might give a better perspective. As it swings around, note the location of the wooden beams.
Oh, looks like probably another one down there. This smooth stone is definitely out of place up here amongst all the sandstone. I'm sure they hauled that up here for a grinding stone. Actually, yeah, even as I say that, you can tell that's been ground on there. And yeah, wow, look at that. There's like a little granary up there.
The more I moved about this high point, the more evidence of the Fremont I saw.
So I popped in here, noticed that. I've been staring at this big dead juniper, the way it's propped there, and it's propped up there, and it basically covers this whole otherwise section that would be hard to get up. And once you got here, you could pretty easily traverse across here, get up on top of this. It could be a lookout or some final place of defense, who knows.
I suspected this old juniper had been used by the Fremont to gain access to the uppermost tier. I looked at it with the drone, but nothing in particular stood out. More or less in the shadow of the arch, the Fremont chose to create a home here. I thought this shot in particular captured the vertical reality these people lived with each day. When we see places like these, it seems we immediately ask why, and almost as quickly start formulating answers. I'll leave the theories, the research, my own explanations for another video. That's all fine and good, but for this one-year video, I think it fitting to strip it back to one of the main reasons I started visiting these ancient sites in the first place. That is, these people's lives create reflection points for my own life. I think of the vision they had to build here, the courage they must have used each day, the trials endured, and the ingenuity needed to live in a place and a time like this. Did they thrive or merely survive? I don't know, but it beckons me to ask myself, are there situations that I need to face with more courage, more adaptability, more vision, more perseverance?
I definitely underestimated how long this was going to take me. If I get back to the car in the dark, that's fine, but I definitely don't want to navigate all that sketchiness with no light. Oh man, I really want to work along this edge. I mean, there's just so much more still to look at and see.
So, was this the mythical ruin the old-timer told me about? To be honest, I'm not sure. If you're wondering, why don't you just ask him? He's no longer alive. He never mentioned any arch, but that would also be a dead giveaway, and he enjoyed giving just enough clues to make you work for it. What he described was an unmatched defensive position. This site is certainly defensive. Is it unmatched? I don't know. Geologically speaking, it's one of a kind, absolutely stunning. Perhaps more time here would lead me to one conclusion or another.
And I haven't even eaten lunch. It's 4:17 p.m. 3 hours of daylight left. Ugh, hate it. A lot more to see, a lot more to cover in the coming year. So I guess it's only fitting that this place did me like it did. I will be back.